Hello, world. My name is Mehron Abdollmohammadi, and this morning, March 20th, which I think is the spring solstice, I was unable to be woken or to wake up in order to make it to Portland from Seattle on time for the Northwest Undergraduate Conference of Literature. To paraphrase this in layman's terms, this means that I was supposed to be up at 4:30 or 5 to leave at 5:30 with my friend John, who's also presenting. Hi, John. And instead, my phone wouldn't ring because some asshole left it on silent. Who could that be? And my alarms that I had set did not go off. As you can imagine, this is pretty disappointing, but I decided I'm going to make the most of it. What this means is that because I'm moving to Tokyo in about a week and a half, holy shit, I now have to help my mom and brother clean the apartment that I was going to be absent for the cleaning of. But I'm gonna do what I can to make this happen. So I'd like to present to you, YouTube / the world, my paper on interactive play and the reimagined romantic genre, or Perceval and the Story of the Grail meets Final Fantasy VII. The romance genre, insofar as it has dealt with history and myth, has enjoyed a rather complicated relationship with the past. It's been criticized by historicists for its fascination with the beautiful and the fantastic, yet at the same time, herein lies its appeal. Medieval romance exists in the space between the real and the imagined, specifically between history as it really happened, to paraphrase Fink and Schichtman's narrative logic, and history as we would like to imagine it, a beautiful, useful past. L.O. Aranya Friedenberg, in her wonderful work, Simply Marvelous, writes that if there is a gap between the wish and its fulfillment, it is this gap that turns the old into the new, the familiar into the strange. Thus, the space of romance is one of both tension between fact and fantasy, and of renewal, history reimagined. This results in what Fink and Schichtman call the dialogic interanimation of romance and history, or as it is usually understood by laymen, as such as us, nostalgia. As far as medieval romance is a genre of wish fulfillment, the wish being enjoyable renewal of a useful and pleasant history, the interactive game could be seen as its modern place of action. The video game is a hugely popular medium in contemporary culture, and the fact that most popular games today are reinterpreting medieval romance in form or in content speaks to some cultural nostalgia for the genre of romance, itself nostalgic. However, in employing a decidedly modern tool, interactivity, video games become the ultimate realization of the romantic fantasy. The vicarious stimulation of knightly aventure or battle via artfully constructed simulations, such as the world of the game or text, create the perfected romance. In this way, medievalist video games breathe new life into the genre, reviving the romantic corpus with an even greater pleasure and escapism. Actually becoming a romantic character is the goal, besides simply living through the idea of one. To describe this connection, I will examine the similarities between Clatien de Troyes' Perceval, the Story of the Grail, and Squaresoft's classic role-playing game, aka the best game of all time, Final Fantasy VII. This is where the crowd would have cheered. These similarities will include the paradigm of endless acquisition, to be defined later on, the presence of a romantic landscape which is both fun and functional, and finally, a comparison of the role of the reader versus that of the player, specifically regarding interactive play. Alright. Maybe to make it easier on my readers, I will call that the intro, and I will move on to the next section.